So, welcome to Let's Drink. I should remind you that I'm not even doing the script properly at the moment. Let's Drink is an adult show, so there could be a lot of adult humour and swearing. I was going to say welcome to your screens, Phil and Bob, but I'm here. Yeah, basically it is an adult show, so just in case we might say the odd word and it might be a bit of an adult show, but we will keep our meat and two veg in the fridge.
What? I'm not keeping my meat and two veg in the fridge.
Yeah? So,
I like them warm.
So did you think that it would be a bat that would get us back together doing this?
No, I didn't. I'm kind of, I don't know, taken aback a little. This is all a bit different, a bit weird.
Yeah, I've got you on like two screens and it's a bit weird.
It's very distracting.
Yeah, so it's been like a year and 9 months since we did since the last Let's Drink got put up. So
Jesus, that long.
We could have two children in that time.
I mean, we couldn't. There's a slight problem with that.
Well,
you know,
we could have adopted.
I've got a Winky, you've got a Winky, I think.
Yeah.
We couldn't have kids.
Yeah.
Doesn't work that way.
Like, it's not like we've had like some sort of feud and now we're getting back together, like some.
No, we've just been generally quite busy and,
yeah,
you know,
got in the way.
different things.
You've been concentrating on your career while we haven't been having our child. And I've been genuinely doing more being an alcoholic.
Yeah. So, I mean, what have we got things to say? World Naked Gardening Day. Was it today or this week?
Today. I had quite a bit of fun on Twitter this morning, trying to find the rude pictures.
Did you go out and garden naked by any chance?
I'm on a bus route and I think the people going for the daily walk on the bus
wouldn't walk on the bus.
Yeah, I don't know how it works. There's still people going on the bus. I don't even know if the bus is still coming around this way. So
I'm sure your neighbour's seen you naked before. So I mean, naked gardening, fine.
So we've got 3 beers. Obviously, because of the lockdown, we are in different houses. It's not just we're far away in different. So, but we have got the same beers. Hopefully, some of you have got the same beers to drink along at home. So, should we crack open the first beer?
Yeah, we should.
Well,
you doing a ditty?
Oh yeah, I'll do the ditty. Right, now you can do it.
Ditty's done.
Yeah.
Okay, the first beer is Anarchy Brew Co. Boot Boys Brown Ale. Sorry, I'm reading that in reverse. It's a 440ml can. It is something percent. It's not even. It's got to be on here somewhere. It's 5%. So we'll crack that one open and give it a go.
Back to master, and we're back on properly now.
We're back on.
Yes.
There we go. Bloody, this is what happens when we let you deal with the technical things.
Yes, we apologise for that. We've done loads and loads of tests. That has not happened at all. The main program just completely knacked up.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like the normal issue of no internet. So
It just all crashed. Anyway, yeah. So it's a 440ml can. It is Anarchy Brew Co. Boot Boys Brown Ale, and it's 5%. And it looks very dark.
yeah,
It's very, very brown.
you know, it almost looks brown. You know,
Yeah,
as
like
if it
you'd
was
expect.
as if
I mean, it comes with an orange head, and it's got some good caramel smell.
Yeah, you get caramel.
Mmm.
You're getting like a nice.
See my patch in. That's horrible.
Yeah, you can you get a nice like biscuity flavour, like a.
It's that kind of sweet, malty, caramelly.
Yeah.
You know, when you have a digestive biscuit with chocolate on and a slight bit of caramel. That's what it reminds me of in a beer.
Yeah. Not that it doesn't really have that many chocolatey notes, but I know what you mean.
Those biscuits aren't very chocolatey either. Not if you get the cheap ones.
I was alright. I did a Tesco's order and I put the cheapest biscuits in, and I got the expensive ones. I was like,
Oh
whee!
yeah.
No, it's very, very nice brown ale. It's good to see Northeast breweries doing the brown ale.
Yeah, because I mean, we've got roots in it with Newcastle Brewn Ale.
Yeah.
Which, I don't rate very highly. Although it's quite a commercial success.
Yeah.
This is definitely a better alternative.
Yeah. I've just remembered to put the graphic on below the image, telling them
With our beers.
Yeah.
We spent weeks doing all this, preparing, and then you just we'll not bother with it.
So we've got all these beers from the pipstop.co.uk that are relatively local to us. They're in Newcastle, but they're delivering sort of to the back and beyond of Concert.
Yeah, so it's DH1 to DH9 or something, and a load of Newcastle postcodes. You only need an order of £3 for most of the Newcastle area, which is quite nice,
and then
because
went up to a bit more to 40 if it was a bit further afield. So it's good because we've been trying to find different places where we can get beers from.
Because it's quite hard trying to get some nice beers from the supermarket. You get stuck with the big names like Brewdog and Cloudwater and things. But having these little independent shops open that will deliver is actually really quite good.
And there's absolutely loads of them at the moment. So there's no sort of excuse not to have good beer. Just go online. I don't really want to mention all the different ones that we have. People are going to get pings from me bloody Facebook, aren't they?
Well, but is this because you've got friends, or because as a professional you didn't mute everything beforehand?
That's because I didn't mute everything beforehand. And people are telling us things that I've... Like, it's good. People are telling us that you were a bit louder than me. That's
all right.
If we keep on doing these, hopefully we'll be more professional.
No, we're never going to be more professional. I mean, the worst part of doing this on video is we've both had to get dressed and kind of look a little bit respectable, because normally we do it naked in your house.
Yeah, and Sunday is going to be like every Sunday I wake up convinced I've got corona and then realise that I've just drank too much.
See, is that a problem? Or, maybe you need to cut your drinking out? Or drink more to where you don't get a hangover?
No, But what else? What else is there to do? If anybody's done anything interesting, just sort of message us the exciting things you've done during lockdown.
As long as it's about World Naked Gardening Day, Phil wants the photos.
So what you want me to? I could send you some pictures of his gardening.
No,
you don't want that.
Thank you.
You're obsessed with this naked gardening thing.
No, I'm not. You are. You're the one that told me about it.
So we're meant to be discussing this beer.
It's nice. It's caramelly. It's brown ale. You can't go wrong.
You can tell it's a long time since we've done this, where we would proper able to describe a beer to the absolute gnats arsehole of it.
You know what it is? It's good.
I think
if you want something that is a brown ale that is going to get you pished and tastes really nice as a brown ale, if you don't want those hoppy beers, this is really good.
Yeah, I think that's the thing now. I've been sort of talking to a lot more people that are just getting into craft beer rather than like you, that's a bit of a craft beer wanker. And I think there is that whole thing of what to drink and, I don't like hops. And it's a thing that we sort of need to, as a beer community, is how to make sure people understand which beers to try and which ones to get. So yeah, if you don't like hops, if you like biscuits,
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people out there that don't like hops and haven't come into the craft beer world because all that you get thrown at you is IPA, 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 and it's those fruity hops, those bitter hops. Whereas this is more traditional, but definitely got that kind of craft feel.
And it's also a good gateway between sort of a lighter beer to a darker beer. You know,
Yeah.
a mid-range beer, sort of like your brown ales and your ambers and things like that. I forgot that what I need to do.
Am I waiting for you?
Yeah, I think
I'm
I poured
finished.
too much.
I think this has got to be the first time I've waited for you.
Well, I'll do the ditty and then tell you when you can do your.
Talk again because I've got no idea.
You've got no idea. Right, over to you.
I mean, I've normally got no idea. It's not because about the ditty, it's just in life in general. So beer number 2 is from Full Circle Brew, and it is called Repeater Session IPA, 4.2% in a big can. It's 440ml. So Full Circle is quite a relatively new brewery in Newcastle. They've got a few different beers, very big brewery, and we snuck one of their other beers, Hoop, earlier, which was actually very nice. So I've got some high hopes for this.
Our pre-show drink. Oh, that looks sexy on my screen.
Did it?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't me.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So as you can see, it's light. It's not clear. It is quite cloudy. It's got a really nice head to it. And smells.
You're getting good, fruity sort of notes from it all.
See, I would say they're quite delicate fruity smells, but that could just be my sense of smell.
Yeah, you're getting like mango. Very much like a mango-y sort of like smell to it.
Tropical-ish. That's really easy to drink.
Yeah, very. And I want to say this it's in a good way. It's got a very light mouthfeel.
It's very light. There's the bitterness comes later on, but it's not a harsh bitterness. It's actually quite a nice bitterness.
It's balanced nicely, isn't it? Between all that nice fruitiness, and it really is one of those ones that's fruity but not too bitter or under bittered or anything like that. It does that fine line of.
Yeah, I'd say actually, as IPAs go, that's a very well balanced fruity side IPA. Are you breaking things again?
Yeah, I'm just forgetting to do the
beers underneath.
The beers
that we
underneath.
spent weeks figuring out, and you're like, does this look good? And then you're just not going to use them.
I am eventually. It's just a bit late.
I'm not sure what else to say about this though. It's nice, it's well crafted, it's well made, but I don't think it's earth-shatteringly new or different. And if you drink a lot of IPAs, I think you'll find it as a nice staple, but it's not groundbreaking.
But I think that's the problem in the IPA market, is that it's a very crowded market. So I think in the last year or so, I can only think of a couple of instances where I've been blown away by an IPA. Because the market is that saturated, and it's like where other styles and things like that. We were saying that a year and 9 months ago. To do an outstanding IPA is very, very hard in a very crowded market. So if you can make a beer that's in the better half of it, that this certainly is, then that's an achievement.
Exactly. Like I think it's an interesting one because, as our last podcast series, we were saying, there's a lot of repetitiveness in the beer, and we've got away because we didn't find anything that was overly enthralling. Nothing that really took us away and blew us away and was like, yeah, that's a fantastic beer. And I feel coming back, things haven't moved along so much. The beers we've had so far and other beers I've had recently have been good. I think the quality is a lot better, the refinedness of the flavours, but I don't think there's anything that's unique or anything that's like really special.
I think the market is sort of thingied out a bit more in terms of some of the shitter breweries have gone to the wall.
Yeah.
So it means that the overall standard of craft beer is better than when we were doing it.
The interesting thing that we've seen is there are more sours coming along. So we kind of predicted a while back that more sours would come out and be the new thing.
The sour ranges is fantastic. Yeah, non-alcoholic or low alcohol beers is fantastic. That was something we were.
I think that's the area where I've been blown away more. Is that low alcohol, non-alcohol beers.
They taste amazing, and I think it's something that's really good. Like, I just got an order from Brewdog, and I put in a load of their non-alcoholic beers because I am aware that I'm drinking a lot more during this time.
It doesn't save you calories, though, Phil. You're still going to get boobs.
Well, it does a bit. Just not much. Yeah, Full Circle Brewing are a relatively new brewery. They have a fantastic tap room in Newcastle.
We met a porn star there that was singing.
Yeah, that was a weird night.
That was an interesting night.
So it's made Oosburn even more fantastic. A place that we love.
It's biker, not Oosburn.
Is it? Well,
you might get a fight here.
All right. Well, I'm on about that experience where you'd say I'm going to go down to Oosburn. You can then start at the arse end of biker and go into Oosburn.
Exactly.
Fantastic. So interestingly, question: which bar are you missing the most?
Oh, Arch 2, because they've got good beer and good curry.
Yeah, I expected that was going to be your answer, and it's the same for me.
If it wasn't for the curry, then maybe like just the area in general, because all the bars in Oosburn have got a good mix.
Yeah, I was hankering for a curry in Arch 2, like.
I am hankering for a curry from there.
That's going to be our soon as we can going out. So yeah, that's a pleasant beer. I should have listened to some of our format beforehand
and figured out what we say and how we fill in the time.
How we fill in the time.
Normally, we talk absolute garbage and then get a little bit drunk and then talk more crap.
The problem is nothing's happened, so it's like I haven't even seen that many funny things. You know, normally you go out and about and there's old people telling kids they're going to fist them as a punishment and things like that.
What? When did this happen?
Years ago, I've told you. It's been on the podcast where I was in. I was in B&M's once, and this old granny came up. The kid was misbehaving. The granny went, "If you don't stop misbehaving, I'm going to fist you." And I was just like,
I swear you're making this up. No grandma is going to say that to their child.
Well, because obviously she was a grandma that was a bit more innocent than
what we are.
Fair point. She was seeing it as in she was going to fist them, as in bop them. So instead of sexually abusing them, just
smacking them all over, basically.
Just a good old twatting.
Well, that's a good beer. I think I'm going to finish that one off later.
Yeah.
So, unlike normally we share one of these cans and we're at home, so we've got a full can each, which could be very, very dangerous.
Yeah, and normally we like get rid of a one. Like we'll pause the podcast and like drink it.
Oh yeah,
that's what I meant by get rid of
seamless like this, where you just like I'm going to click things and just stop talking mid sentence.
Yeah, well, you know my little brain doesn't work. You were expecting me to be all polished, weren't you? Because certainly starting this week properly on a Wednesday, I'm doing a drinks talk about a particular drink. So I've been doing it on my personal Facebook just to get it all perfect. But I've done a gin one, beer questions that people have put in, and absinthe this week. So starting on a Wednesday, it'll just be me. It'll be a lot more serious than this and a lot more factual.
It's a little bit more slick in places. There's many camera angles. There's lighting, and actually, it's quite good. It's very informative.
And somehow I managed to do something that's much more complicated, more slick with that. Whereas
this, you're just all over.
The normal let's drink shit show. Right.
So that's Wet Wednesdays, isn't it? Is that what you're calling it?
Yeah, Wet Wednesdays.
And is it going to be on YouTube?
Yes.
Are you uploading them all on YouTube?
We upload them to YouTube if I remember to press record.
Okay.
So
basically, if you want to watch the old ones on YouTube, search Formal Shark Wet Wednesdays, and you can see his mug.
Yeah, down that direction. Right, I'll press the ditty and then go to the big screen with you on. Right, you can now pour a beer.
I can talk.
Yeah.
See, when we practiced this, every time you were like, and welcome back, and this, that, and the other. So now I'm just getting you going, I talk.
But can you not remember the argument you had with us where you were like, oh, you do me head in every time you say welcome fucking back, you punk.
Well, exactly. So, this one is called Paying the Price for My Smooth Ride. It is double IPA. It is Wylam and Finback Brewery, so it's some sort of collaboration. It's in a 440ml can, and it's 8.8%. I didn't realise this was a collaboration when I pressed order, because you just told me what to get.
I should tell people while you're doing that is please message us with what you're drinking or whatever. You can have shout-outs, live and kicking style.
Live and kicking style? Why? We got Zoe Ball coming in.
Or whatever things that you used to think in your youth.
Oh, wow.
And you'd be pleased.
That has a smell.
Yeah, you get it from a mile off. Ooh. Again, very...
it hits you in the face, that one.
Very tropical. You know that there's going to be I can smell from here that I think there's going to be a very much a hop hit.
I'd say...
So it's a DIPA from Wylam, and so far it's smelling
You can really smell them tropical hops.
Yeah, but it's what
orangey.
Exactly what you'd expect from the sniff of it from Wylam.
That's very tropical.
I'm trying to think of the flavour of the tropicalness, because it's not...
it's nearly like lilt. It's not as hoppy. It's not as bitter hoppy as I was expecting.
I'm trying to think of the fruit. It's one of those middle class fruits that people eat.
I'm not middle class, so
it's got seeds in the middle, and I've had them once or twice when it's cheap at Tesco's, but I can't remember.
That's everything but strawberries.
It's got an orangey flesh inside.
Oranges.
No, it's a middle class, one of these middle class ones, but I forgot what. It's not a Sharon fruit, because that's looks like a tomato, but doesn't taste like a tomato.
Is a Sharon fruit on the doll? Sharon!
You're just insulting everybody called Sharon.
What is the Sharon fruit? I've never heard of one.
If you go into Tesco's, right, there's an aisle that's not the beer aisle, and it's called the fruit aisle. And in there, what they have is they have these things that have grown on trees. One of them's called an apple.
I've heard of them before.
And a banana.
What? A banana?
A banana. So an apple, a banana, melons.
Melons. You dick.
Pear. Cherry.
What's that? That looked like you were opening a can.
Because they have little stalks, don't the cherries?
You're an idiot. Does it say on the can what it is?
What flavours?
No. It does contain, Phil, I hope you don't mind, it contains barley gluten. You've ruined your gluten-free diet.
God, I'm having to do
That's
like
nice.
I'm not my normal jolly self because I'm having to keep me gut in all the time. Because if I let go,
Everybody will realise you're fat.
yeah,
Because, we do a podcast and you're like, you know what we'll do? We'll go on Facebook Live and then people can see us. And that's a terrible idea. People have to look at us
look at us.
and realise we talk shite about beer.
Well, yeah, we've never said we don't talk shite about beer. We could be like all the rest of the podcasts out there that actually like talk about beer and are professional and sort of know brewers and are like, well,
We know brewers.
Yeah.
You've brewed, I know you. You brewed a beer for lockdown.
Yeah, I brewed a kit beer that went out of date in like 2005 or something.
That doesn't matter. How's that going anyway?
Well, it tastes interesting.
So is it still brewing or is it ready
it's
to
bottled after I've had a bottle of it. I didn't die.
It's bottled. So we've been in lockdown that long. You've managed to brew a beer and bottle it and drink half of it.
No, I haven't drank. I've only drank the one bottle because I've got far better beer in because places are delivering.
Wow.
That's fantastic.
So what's it like if it tastes interesting?
Well, because it was out of date, obviously the hops had all like just gone on holiday or something. So I added a load of other stuff. Like I had a load of chippings for beer, I didn't just go on the road and collect some chippings. So I put them in some whiskey for a while, poured that in, poured some other bits and bobs in, and it tastes interesting. It's got smoky notes to it because it was a smoky beer. It's like a PTM whiskey.
So when Mr. Boris lets us out, do you recommend I come round for one?
Yes, because I think you would find it interesting.
Or should we just go somewhere else?
Oh, well, we'll go to the pub. That'll be, well, when the pub's open, but God knows it could be. You have to come round here for a beer and get attacked by the cat.
This doesn't taste 8% though.
No,
we're going on a tangent every now and then.
Yeah.
But this doesn't taste 8%.
No, like, I could really, really drink lots of this. Like, a stupid amount of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I bet you're really expensive in the Wylam Brewery, though.
Probably. It was expensive on the Pipstop website. That's one thing I have noticed, is craft beer going up and up and up in price. Yeah, stuff like that, the quality's gone up a lot, and there's probably a hell of a lot of hops in there. But the
Cost.
Price.
Are you reading things as you talk?
No, I'm
You really can't do two things at once.
Two things at once. Yeah. So that's that. I'm gonna put the socials. You do the socials on, so people can email in and tell us things if they want.
Yeah. Are you gonna ditty it?
Yeah, I'll ditty it and then. Right, social media stuff's up now. You do that.
Smooth. Are you going for a wee?
Yes.
Right. So while Phil leaves us and goes for a wee because, of course, he's got a child's bladder. Our website is www.formalshark.co.uk. We've got all our podcasts on there. There's Let's Drink and Let's Watch. Our mate Alan, he does an occasional podcast diary, but he is a touch creepy, so listen to it and kind of decide. Don't put it while kids are on. He's a bit creepy. And if you're female, definitely don't listen to Alan because he's a creep. If you email him, he'll get back in touch. Anyway, we've got a Facebook. Presumably you know our Facebook because you're on Facebook Live. But if this is the recorded version on YouTube, it is facebook.com/formalshark. Our Twitter for Let's Drink is @letsdrink_FS. We've got a Formal Shark one as well for all the global Formal Shark things that we do. And YouTube, we're not allowed a name on YouTube yet because we've not got enough videos. So just search Formal Shark, and it's the one with us in and not some other Formal Shark.
Oh, that's much better. I should apologise to everybody. That was very unprofessional, but I'd had a pint of beer beforehand, and I'd had a coffee just to pick us up with some liqueur in. So,
Man, you, how can you not hold it in?
I don't know. It's getting worse and worse and worse. I probably
He's such an old man.
Probably need to go to the doctors.
Not at the moment though, because he might just prescribe you coronavirus. And
no, it's quite fine because I take it we're in the outro now anyway.
Yeah. So what we've got in our notes is something you've put on called Northern Stronghold.
Oh right, yes, come on. So a lot of breweries are doing some amazing things. A lot of them are still delivering. You've got quite a few of them where you can just go up with your car and they'll have it all ready for you and stuff like that. There's too many of them to name that are doing it, so I'm not going to single many out. But check your local beer providers who you'd normally get your beer from, even if it's like a bar, because they might be doing something to keep their trade going. So definitely try and look for that sort of stuff. And that's probably one of the reasons I'm not doing very well. I haven't actually got the script up on thingy. But yeah, you have got
We spent time writing a script, tidying it out so it's easy to read, and what you did was just completely ignore it.
Yeah.
You know what it is? I'm never doing a movie with you because you'll never remember your script lines.
Yeah. So it's 16 Northeast craft breweries have got together, and they're going to create something special. So you sign up. They've got a Facebook. You sign up on the website. I don't know what it's going to be. If it's going to be a collaboration of beers or something like that, but it looked like they were going
a collaboration of 16 of the Northeast craft breweries could be really interesting.
I think
really,
it would be like a delivery thing, like maybe like the Northern Powerhouse ones that they did or something like that, where they had they did like a pack of beers, or something like that. It just seemed like something to keep an eye on in these troubling times, especially.
Troubling times. Talking of Arch 2, I saw that Fally Tray in Arch 2 were doing gift vouchers as well.
Yes.
Ready for when the lockdown's released. So if you like curry and you like craft beer and you know you're gonna go, grab yourself a voucher. It doesn't cost you anymore if you go, and it just kind of helps people now because some of these companies aren't necessarily getting the government grants that are sold.
I think that's it. It's
because the likes of Fally Tray, I don't even think they can class their premises as their own, so I don't think they're eligible for a lot of the grants.
Like, I think that's it. It's sort of supporting a lot of businesses, as well as supporting, everything else that people are supporting at the moment, like food banks and everything like that. Legitimate charities like that obviously probably need support even more than the beers, but there's plenty of people with disposable income, people with a lot more income at the moment because they're not going out and spending it. Obviously, there's a lot of people that just can't at the moment.
Exactly.
Furloughed or unemployed or whatever.
If you're not spending that 50 quid on petrol, then think about where else it might go and be useful with, ideally with beer, because then it keeps the breweries we like going.
Well, that's it. At the end of all this, what we want to happen is all these great breweries and all that sort of mumbo jumbo to still be there.
Yeah.
Because whenever it is, if it's a couple of months, next year, whenever, we'll want to be able to go out and enjoy as many of the bars that we did originally. Because that's what we enjoy doing, and that's what a lot of people enjoy doing. It's a very social thing. We will be social again, I am sure.
Do I have to?
Yeah.
Do I have to get within 2 meters of you?
Yeah, you'll have to. I'll have to have a bath first.
I'm glad I can't smell you then if you say you need a bath.
No, I had a bath yesterday.
Because then that's probably really bad.
No, I had to have a bath because I needed to shave the old hair. Have you seen the new haircut?
It's
less
slick. It's a little bit egg-like, but it's sexier than your normal look
So
with just bits.
if you think I'm sexier than other times that you've seen photos on live streams, email in sharks@formalshark.co.uk, Facebook us,
Exactly.
tweet us.
Are you just sat there reading the wrong bit of the script again? We're on a summary. We're meant to be summarising these beers.
Oh, right, yeah, we're meant to be summarising these beers. So we've had 3 excellent beers, all local beers, all available, or were available when we bought them 2 weeks ago, but there's still loads of beers that you could be. We had Boot Boy from Anarchy Brewery. I always want to do something anarchic, but I really sort of pushing the screen over would just break it. We've had Full Circle Rapture, is that?
Repeater. You've got the cans in front of you.
Yeah, but I'm not reading the cans. I'm reading it off my screen when you put it up.
I can't read it on my screen because it's backwards.
And I'm dyslexic. And then it is Paying the Price for My Smooth Ride.
By Wylam and Finback.
Yeah, I've never had a smooth ride. I've paid the price for dodgy cars.
And never had a smooth ride.
No. Oh, is it? Are they talking about that sort of ride, or are they talking about like a prostitute?
Possibly a prostitute.
Do you pay more for a smooth ride there?
To be fair, their artwork is a load of cars sunk in water and a plane. It's a little bit grim.
Well, grim beer for grim times. Apart from the beer is nice. It's not a grim beer, but...
You know what? I think that, yes, that collaboration is really nice. It's probably the best beer out of those 3, but it is 8%.
But it's, again, it was a lot more expensive than the other beers as well.
Exactly. Would I buy it again? I'd probably buy it on a one-off. Whereas the likes of the Repeater, the Session IPA, I'd buy that and probably get a handful of cans of it and enjoy it nice.
The thing is, again, with me being a poverty-stricken man, the way I'm drinking has changed quite a bit, because before, what I would do is I would get cheap beers for in the house and do the supermarket run and things like that. And then I would buy the beers like this when I went to town. And I wouldn't blink at the prices in town or whatever. But that's how I used to do it. But now, to get that proper fix of good beer, I'm having to buy and spend a lot more on the beers.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's weird.
Like, so in a similar fashion, you know, I bought a couple of more expensive beers over the past couple of weeks and enjoyed them, but I still was finding myself going back and buying the cheaper beers as my bulk drink, because you can't afford to have some of these fancy beers that are exceptionally well polished and tasty beers, but they're not earth-shatteringly different enough from, you know, the likes of a Brewdog IPA or this Repeater Session IPA or anything like that. They're just better versions of what you can already buy a lot cheaper. But
the interesting thing is, it's how good the supermarkets are actually getting with their beer. It's phenomenal. Like I did my Tesco's order that's coming tomorrow, and because it comes from a bigger Tesco's, I got more of the range. And the beers I was putting in my basket for sort of the £3 mark. One, it's amazing that there's £3 beers in a supermarket now, when that would just have been unthinkable, though they had it a lot lower. And the beers that you were getting in there was just like absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. So I found Cloudwater and I think it's North Brewing collaboration beer in Tesco's the other week, which was really nice. I think it was one of their more bigger brewed ones. And like Brewdog's got one of their collaborations in Tesco, which is really good.
Yeah, and that is like an absolute like fantastic thing, especially lockdown in a randomly thing. Now there's a lot of like hoo-ha and people complaining and sort of they think it's sacrilegious that these breweries go into the supermarkets, but for some people that's the only way they can access good beer, because going to a bottle shop, it is hard to find a beer under £3.
Oh, definitely. And I think the other one is if you've not got a bottle shop nearby. And we started as drinking craft beer because it was something different. The beers were a little bit more expensive.
yeah,
but not excruciating. And I think actually, as you said, the price of craft beer has gone up in places for some of these more very kind of, like this Wylam one. It's a lot more expensive than what it used to be,
yeah.
and I think the pricing themselves out
But
of
I think
everyday people.
the interesting thing is it's the size. That is a tall boy can. It's 8%, and
Yeah,
I think it's a format that's very popular because people like that traditional way. I'm going to have a tall boy. I'm going to have this big beer, but if that was half the size at 330 ml, or you can do the maths if it's not quite half the size, but you know what I mean.
not quite half the size.
But you're going to knock a pound off that or whatever. Then for people like me,
Makes it a bit
it
more
makes it a
accessible.
lot better priced.
Well, the likes of the Wylam ones used to be in the 330 ml bottles, not a 400 ml can.
Yeah. So and it's especially in times like now where people are drinking alone, where a big can like that, me and you would share.
Yeah.
And then yeah, that makes it really good if you're sharing it. So we're getting very much on our high horse. Less silliness this week.
So I mean, the interesting one is where people place the likes of Brewdog and Cloudwater and Camden and these bigger craft beer breweries that have either been bought out or are in the process of becoming very, very large. And how you perceive that is it a sellout? Is it companies doing things against their fans? So like Brewdog and some of the various changes I know people haven't accepted.
Well, I've just got one.
But in the same way, if it's getting this good beer into the supermarkets at a cheap price, is that not truly the likes of Brewdog's slogan, craft beer for the people? Instead of pricing and the market.
Well, I think there's two types of beer. There's bad beer and good beer. And quite frankly, I don't care who's making, as long as the company is ethical. I try to buy ethical beer. I don't want it off racists and stuff like that. But if it tastes good, the underpinnings of it I'm not as bothered about.
Does your local racist brew beer?
No, but you can get, these breweries that have been outed, you know the word. Ousted, that's it.
Ousted.
It's really
I was
bad.
just imagining, like, your local racist sat on the street corner shouting all sorts of racist swears going, want to buy a pint?
the BNP pint.
I've called this one so-and-so.
It's surprising that some, proper, beady weedy, like, old-fashioned brewery, you know what I mean, like some cask beer that hasn't, like, had the Nigel Farage or something like that.
You never know, maybe we're not in the right circles.
Nigel Farage riding a bulldog.
Or a bulldog riding Nigel Farage.
Yeah. I think that's some of your darker internet posts, isn't it?
Exactly.
Searches.
So, Phil, which beer would you recommend for the people?
For the people? Are we on about like a revolutionary beer? Well, if it's for the
summarising. We're meant to be summarising.
If it's for the people, it's going to be Anarchy, because then we can start like some anarchy and we can
some rioting.
We can start rioting against something. What we're rioting against?
Don't know.
We could riot against how shite the government is and them bloody faking results and everything. But anyway.
So, summarising, which beer would we suggest for people to get out of those three?
The most tasty is definitely the Wylam. I think as a beer that I was going to be like properly buying and like I think you should buy this beer, it would be this one.
The repeater.
Yeah, the repeater, because I think the price point, like if I go to my notes, you've got repeater that is £3.29 versus Wylam that is £6.99. See, I'm even putting it up on the thing. But then I wouldn't rule out, and I'm going to put it on the screen again, the brown ale. This is me being very uncommittal.
I mean, this is brilliant. You've wrote all these notes of the prices that I can't see, and they're not in our show notes or anything. Slick.
That's why I'm telling you them.
Professional this
But
is.
then I wouldn't be dismissed against this one. But what I would end up doing is I'd buy the 2 beers at a slightly more expensive for the 2 than the 1 very good beer. But then if I had lots of money, I'd buy all 3. Is that...
What was that blue one? Did you just put the wrong beer in the show?
Yes. And this one was very nice as well.
So the blue one, for people, was our pre-show drink. And that is Hoop. It is an American pale ale by Full Circle Brewing. And that was very nice as well. I think we could probably recommend the Full Circle Brewing box on the Pip Stop website if you wanted a good mix of beer that was available. Their beers have been quite good.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get us to the right screen. I ended up clicking 3. That's the other thing about when I do my Wednesday show. I am very sober during it.
How much have you drank? I'm relatively sober.
Not that much, but it's lockdown. It's like melted me brain.
Oh dear. Right. Anyway,
Like I'm going to bed alone. I'm constantly going to bed naked now.
I don't need to know.
It's like a lockdown thing. I've never do that.
I don't need to know. Now I can just imagine you and your todger dangling about the place.
So how do you imagine my todger? Is it big or small?
It's a little bit in between.
Right, we'll get back on with this serious show.
Yeah. So, social media. We've got our website, www.formalshark.co.uk. There's links down there somehow.
Actually, it's on the full screen at the moment.
Is it? /formalshark. That was facebook.com/formalshark. Our Twitter is @letsdrink_FS or @formalshark, depending on which one Phil's put on the screen.
Yeah, it's @letsdrink_FS. That's the one that has everything else. The other one basically has nothing on. It's just a placeholder.
YouTube.
Are you talking about YouTube?
Shark. If you want to donate something to help Phil's beer addiction, you can. formalshark.co.uk/donate.
Also, we've got some deals that anybody gets anyway. This is no like...
Yeah, this isn't an exclusive deal. There's Beer 52.
We've got Beer 52 that's currently 50% off. Your first order of Beer 52 if you use that link, or £5 off Flavourly. These are just your normal beer subscriptions. When you sign up, you get the links and things like that.
Yeah, new sign-ups get various deals. We get a referral, which helps.
I remember, Flavourly, it's just a click on and off. Beer 52 want your feedback via a phone call to cancel. That to me is a little bit more sneaky.
That's a bit awkward, isn't it?
Yeah, it means you've got to... Or you can just, as I do, go on Twitter and say, I'm cancelling my order. Why? Because I've had me deal. Because what we'll do is once...
Yeah, those ones. And if you sign up to them, you get a benefit, we get a benefit. This,
like,
that, and the other.
I've probably not meant to say this, but what I've also worked out is when you go to cancel your Beer 52, you get £5 off as well.
Well, there we go.
If you stay on. So I don't know how many times you can do that, but... Because I just did it this time and went, yeah, I'll keep it for another £5 because it's all I've got in my sad little life at the moment.
Phil, you're doing Wet Wednesdays.
Yeah, Wet Wednesdays.
That in my head sounds rude.
Well,
Phil's doing a Wet Wednesday. Like,
I'm just going to wet myself on screen. Please tell us if you want more of these. We have not planned to do one anymore. That's not that we won't do anymore. That's just what we don't want to be doing is saying we're going to do another one and everybody tell us that we've lost our knack and everything.
Yeah.
So if you've enjoyed it, please give us that feedback. Say, we enjoyed it. We will be more slick because it's a long time since we've done these and we're doing a new format. So
yeah, like we've never done it remote live, and it's different. Yeah. It is different.
So I think if we did do more, we would be better. So if we've entertained you, please tell us. We will keep improving. That is.
If you think we're shit, tell us.
Yeah.
We like to hear bad feedback as well. If you're just like, no, we don't want to see you again, don't bother. anything negative is still something positive to us.
Yeah, I prefer positive. I love positive because it makes us feel good and think that I'm far better than I actually am. Especially in this time when we should be hugging. Well, no, not don't hug anybody. We should be
Yeah, we
virtually.
shouldn't be hugging. It's a contact-free thing.
But
no hugging.
We should be virtually hugging people and making sure everybody's safe and messaging people regularly that maybe live alone and things like that. But everybody knows that, so I don't know why I'm telling people. But you've got to do all this virtual signaling. So
and everybody seems to be saying stay safe. But if you're in your own house, what's not safe? Like you got a burglar in there,
the first week I did electrocute myself.
No, you electric shocked yourself, and electrocution is where you die.
Oh, well, electric shocked myself. I almost got stuck in the loft. There's a lot of things. I keep
So when they say safe, they actually mean it to you.
Yeah.
Don't do anything.
So when you're at home, when you're at work, you go to work every day. You have this thing. If you do unsafe things, and your health and safety executive might come around and sack you.
Do they?
Well, if you do really
They've never caught me on my stood on my swivelly chair.
Yeah, but it's like everything. They just don't catch you. If you do get caught, they bollock you. So you've got that whole thing of, yes, I've got to be safe at work. Once you're at home...
just saying that you need new training. You just go, well, I wasn't in my training.
So
and then they give you training.
Yeah, but at work I've done ladder training, so that means I'm not meant to sort of dangle just on one foot down from the bloody loft.
So what you're saying is you need ladder training for home?
Yeah. Oh, okay. And what I need to do is take the skills from work and apply them at home.
You mean transfer your skills?
Yeah, but I haven't had a letter to say I can do that.
Well, so if anybody here listening can do ladder training and would like to give Phil some ladder training for free...
For the home. I've had it at work, but they've never signed anything to say that it's transferable to home.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be in like any legal grey area.
I don't think you need to worry about that.
I don't know how all this legality works.
Who's going to sue you? If you fall off your own ladder at home, who's going to sue you? You're going to sue yourself?
Well, I'll sue myself and I'll say, have you done ladder training? Yes, at work. And then work might say, well, no, we're not legitimising that because it's an outside agency.
You're an idiot.
So, So, because it's a good compliment I've had from Gareth Roberts. Great show. Keep them coming. So thank you very much, Gareth. We appreciate that. That is a proper shout out. We should also shout out that everything else has just been technical instructions saying I'm too quiet. Unless we've had some tweets.
Do you know how to use Twitter?
Yeah. No, I don't. There. So
that was really, really smooth segment of you moving your mouse and there being quietness. Because you're like, I'm going to check it last minute. You could have got that ready like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, I could have, but then the homely feeling. The idea is we're making like a homely show that people think, oh yeah, anybody.
It's not why there's a big gap and you're not in the centre of the screen.
No, this is artistic.
That's like this one in Britain.
This is art.
Art.
Look,
really.
Look, we've got about the same production values of I Got News for You now. And about the awkwardness between jokes. Actually, our awkwardness is probably less because we've never had a studio audience, so we're not waiting for the joke. Yeah, that's very disconcerting when you're watching certain shows. But more importantly, nobody's actually said if they think my new haircut is sexy.
Nobody is going to think that.
Is my likelihood of a lady finding me attractive now gone up a percentile?
I don't know. You'll have to ask the ladies. Get it as ask our mate Alan to put it out as a kind of poll and see what people will say.
Yeah, on the website, that's another thing before we go, because we've got like 5 minutes left before I'm off to a fancy dress party.
Oh, God.
A hint of what I'm going as?
Edward Scissorhands.
No. Do you not think that's good. That looks like a proper hook.
No, that does not look like a proper hook.
Well, it's good.
What?
It's good for a bloody porridge pot. Some paper that I put in the bin and then realised, oh, that's silver. That'll look all right. This is Blue Peter stuff. I'm practically Connie Hook.
No, you're not.
I
Connie
know.
Hook's actually funny.
I thought it was just that she was your Blue Peter presenter that you liked the most.
No. I like the ones that take the drugs.
Richard Bacon. So yeah,
Right, what were you saying anyway about the website?
Oh yeah, we've got lots of different content on there. So we've got all the old podcasts that you can listen to. You know, you're binging, you're bored, do that. We've got Let's Watch, about 4 episodes of that. Hopefully some more coming soon. If
I blame our director.
Yeah, if I can get that together. There's loads of different videos, including the talks I've done. There's other stuff like our previous proper live stream where it was all like proper studioed and stuff like that. There's
As professional as we ever will get.
There's about 5 episodes of something called Over and Out by some strange man called Alan Lane.
He's really weird. We should never have let him put a podcast on.
Yeah, very weird. He just does every so often he does a video, an audio diary. Apart from, I don't know what's happened because I haven't heard from him for a while.
No, I'm a bit worried he's unwell, actually.
Yeah, but what happens is, you'll not say anything for ages and then you can't contact him. It just appears out of nowhere.
No.
Very weird. But yeah, it's definitely worth a listen if you're desperate.
And then we've also got our old retread things that we did.
Yeah, there's retread, that's a separate thing, but there's the videos of that. Worth a watch. You can call me a bell end like everybody else does on the internet on that. Still, that's the thing is, people are still commenting that we're all bell ends. It's hilarious.
It's like a shit version of Top Gear.
Yeah, well, that's it. It's a shit version of Top Gear, but what I'm really pleased is people watch it enough to able to assume that we're all a bunch of bell ends and proper in-depth comments.
You're right.
But it's like proper in-depth comments of how we're a bell end, and it's like, so you've watched this entire show that a couple of idiots did because they were bored.
To say that they're a bell end.
Yeah, it's great. I love the internet and people calling us a bell end. So call us a bell end as well.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think what we should do is we should say goodbye to these people so we're not taking them up more than an hour and we've sort of got somewhere else to go.
We've got a better places to be.
Yeah, we've got other places to go because we have a social life. Even though it's locked down. It is a lockdown fancy
I think it's a better social life now.
Yeah. We are, it is a hands-off party, virtual party. We're not like all these people, celebrities and footballers and things that are having real parties because they're better than everybody else, supposedly.
Yeah. Right.
Tatty, bye.
Bye. It's like in the CBBS or something.
Yeah, I've got to press the button for the
waving
credits.
with the wrong hand, Phil.
Well, I'm not because I'm controlling the credits.